same way as he's doing. You know, if the long pot is there and he fancies it, you know, you can't change your game too much. So, and knowing Shaun as I know him, he will still be going for them reds.
Shaun Murphy to break.
Just came down the table there to see if the black was available into the opposite corner. That would just dictate to Ding as to what pace he'll play this red at. He's going to have another whack at this, isn't he? What a great shot. Well, we saw him miss one of those earlier by a long way. But that time, nailed it. So obviously the black won't pot. Very difficult, because if you were to see it in slow motion, that cube would be bouncing along the table bed on its way through to cannoning into the really potted. You'd be amazed what you saw if you were to see certain things in slow motion on a snooker table. That was a good pot from Ding, played out with a lot of check side, but unfortunately hasn't got on a red. Let's have a look at this ball. There you see, look at that. Now that cue ball let the air off Ding's cue tip and probably didn't land back on the table for another 18 or 20 inches down the table towards a red. Amazes me how they stay online, some of these shots sometimes.
Junhui 6.
And we spoke earlier about Ding did very well against Stephen Lee last night, but watched him play his first match here this year against Mark Davis. He won 4-0 and didn't miss a ball. He looked very, very impressive. Not saying he's going to get through then because of that, but when he's playing well, he's a very hard man to beat. Only his 10th semi-final, whereas his opponent Shaun Murphy's played in 90 semi-finals. The leader, of course, by a long ways, Ronnie O'Sullivan, 56 semi-finals in ranking events. The 4 people left in this year. Mark Selby's been in 15 finals, so Ding's the novice really at semi-final stage. He doesn't look like it at the moment. He took a chance there. He was hoping to cover the red into the centre pocket with the green and brown on the yellow. But the red's come down the table and is available for Shaun Murphy. Wasn't too happy with the contact he got between the cue ball and the ball. Took a little bit of speed out of the run of the ball. So he's a lot thinner in this blue than he would have liked. Restricts his position options. He might have played ripple of
6.
applause, but when you look at that shot, the cue ball's it's travelled about, well, I don't know, 20 foot. Played it perfectly.
7.
The black doesn't go, but pink is available. Oh. Misjudged that one. Don't know whether it didn't strike it well enough, but certainly didn't get the contact on the red he intended.
13.
So the shot, he slipped off the side of the reds. He wanted to hit them a little more fuller than that.
Wow, concentrated fully there on getting a good cue ball. Didn't consider that that red could travel far up the table as it has done. And unfortunately for Shaun, it stopped right over that centre pocket for Ding, and he can easily get through to it. You can see the way these balls are spread, from Ding's point of view, he just needs one good positional shot. And who knows? Shaun Murphy may have played his last shot in this year's Welsh Open.
Well, if you could have a look at it again, that cue ball flew off that bottom cushion. Came off it a lot quicker than it went on, and that's why Ding's out of position. Flew off the cush. It happens now and then. There's no obvious reason for it. It could be a little bit of chalk on the ball, mixed up with the rubber, a little bit of dampness in the air. Could play the same shot again and it wouldn't bounce. So you can't even allow for them.
Yes, need to clarify that, because as Terry says, it's not actually anything to do with the way the table's put together or any inconsistency of the materials used in the construction of a billiards table. Just more than likely, as Terry says, some grease on the cue ball or some residue.
Junhui 1.
And that's where you have to be so careful when you're escaping from snookers, as Shaun is doing here, because if foul and a miss is called, then you have the cue ball replaced. Sometimes the referee can clean the cue ball on his way to replace it. You can get a completely different bounce the next time round off the escape.
We'll have to get rid of the referees, Dominic. Well, I'm not quite sure if he played up to these two reds. I think he did. It is a little bit short, but he's left a red into the left centre. It's just a matter if Ding can get position after potting it. If not, he'll turn it down.
Well, this is the escape that Shaun attempted in his previous visit. Right again, as you can see by my lines, he's got to go fairly close to that red that's just above the black. Oh, he's hit that red. No, he just came past it. He's got the line wrong. Came too close to that red, in fact. But you can tell that Shaun's played the right shot there, because even though he's messed it up by a large margin, it was still safe. So I'm sure he'll keep playing this shot until he feels it's too difficult for him.
Okay.
Oh, bullseye. Great shot.
Well, these days, of course, with the miss rule, they get plenty of practice on those shots, and they're putting them back unless he leaves an opponent an easy red. Then you've got to reassess the angles. Like you say, it can change a bit. The angles come off the cushion. The worst one is when you think you've selected the right place on the cushion, it looks as if it's going to hit the reds and it doesn't go near it. It's like brain frazzle time then, isn't it? Next shot, you're just guessing where you hit the cushion. So if you can play any shot to get behind green and brown, take a chance and try and get behind the yellow. That's what he's doing here. Yeah, he played the one behind the yellow but caught the blue on the way down. I was lucky. If he had it full on, he would have left Shaun Murphy an easy chance. He's having a glance at this over the side of the black there. You feel it this time. The odds are against him potting it because they're not going for him at the moment. And he's been kept away from the table a bit.
I was going to say, Shaun goes for that. It would be very, very risky. Because he had a chance to put Ding in trouble with a good safety, but he hasn't played that one very well, I'm afraid. Caught the red much too thickly. But you never know, sometimes when you make those sort of half errors and give your opponent a good half chance, sometimes they miss and leave you straight in. And then you're very happy that you had bad safety. Let's just see if that's the case here. He's just considering the possibility of playing a safety shot round off 4 cushions in behind the yellow, green and brown on the bulk cushion. It's worthwhile because the pink will then be hiding the left-hand side of the table. Oh, fortunately the red came across as well. That's useful for Shaun because had that red not been on the left-hand side of the pink, he would have had a very difficult safety shot to play.
You're going to take this one on. Oh, beautifully struck. Good long pot as he's played in this game. Right in the heart of the pocket. The reason I said he's going to take it on because he turned down the previous long red, doesn't normally do, and he did play a good safety, so I'm thinking there's no chance of him playing safety here, he's just going to go for it. And you can't blame him, he's 5-2, down he's got to force the pace a bit. Can't keep waiting for your opponent to leave you chances, you've got to make them yourself sometimes.
Yes, but the other one was very, very risky, whereas that one he knew he could get that cue ball back into bulk. And Shaun will be well aware that he's going to get back into this match and possibly win it. He needs to take full advantage of positions like this, where the ball is open and the colours are in good positions. He knows he's going to have to win frames from these particular opportunities. He will not be happy with that shot. Much, much too much angle on this red. He'll do well to avoid cannoning other balls here. You can just play a delicate cannon off the 2 reds above this one, which would take the cue ball towards the blue. Played through them, and it's a bit lucky to be on the pink.
It's quite delicate, that one, wasn't it? I thought he was going to play the shot you called as well. Everybody's got different types of way they play the same shot.